I now call the meeting of the Board of Aldermen back into session. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chair of the school committee, Laura Pitone, for her address to the community. Laura, come back up here.
Lots of papers. President White, thank you for that introduction. Mayor Pitone, President White, fellow elected officials on the Board of Aldermen and School Committee, Superintendent Skipper, family and friends, I'm honored to share this night with you and for my new role as the chair of the school committee. I appreciate the confidence and trust you have placed in me to lead and collaborate with the talented people that represent the city of Somerville on the school committee. First, I want to acknowledge and congratulate Paula O'Sullivan, our newest member representing Ward 6. She is filling big shoes, literally, with the resignation of Paul Bockelman, who mentored me and many others with his deep knowledge of the district, ability to both listen and speak thoughtfully, and with great humor. With her professional background in education, and as a parent of 3 children attending the Kennedy and Brown schools, Paula's perspective will contribute greatly to the work of the Somerville School Committee. Thank you, Paula, for stepping up in your future service. I would also like to acknowledge the outgoing chair of the school committee, Carrie Norman, who has led us through a period of great change, both in membership and district leadership. Although our current school committee members are relatively new to the job, there is no shortage of passion, and Carrie has inspired all of us with her generous and thoughtful leadership. She always puts the needs of the children of Somerville first and foremost. Although many of the faces on the school committee have changed, it's just really inspiring to me to look around the room and recognize so many who have served before us. The list is too long to name, many who continue to serve in public office. Your commitment to the city and our schools continues with your current work, and the Somerville Public Schools would not be enjoying its current success without your continued support. Thank you. As a steward of the schools, I also imagine I am not only seeing my predecessors, but hopefully a few faces of those who will follow in our footsteps. For some of us, okay, me, my role in the school committee was not part of some master plan, but a journey I unwittingly embarked on the first day I brought my son to kindergarten at the Healy School 10 years ago. I was welcomed into the school community and greatly supported as we made for what was for my family a challenging transition. I wanted to give back to the schools, so I got involved doing what I was interested in and leveraging my skills, that sweet spot that makes volunteering really easy. But I realized I wanted to do more for the wider school community. Running for office was an overwhelming prospect, but one of the most exciting and rewarding experiences I've had. I met so many amazing and different people, but the one thing they shared in common was their sincere interest in the students of Somerville. That interest showed itself this November when the community overwhelmingly supported the city's planned investment in the new Somerville High School. Thanks to the High School Building Committee for their time and efforts to consider every possible location, various interests from historic preservation, the experience of current students during construction, to the inspiring educational vision of the future of Somerville High School developed by high school staff, Headmaster O'Terry, and Superintendent Skipper. This vision emphasizes critical thinking skills, collaboration, and an increased connectivity between our career and technical and college preparatory program. I am truly excited to see the future of Somerville High unfold. In addition to plans for a new high school, 2016 brought an increased focus on social and emotional development of students. From enhancing health education in middle schools to strengthening how our staff is organized to identify and meet the needs of struggling students, we have made investments that allow our students to better meet academic challenges and prepare them for life after Somerville Public Schools. Students who are struggling socially or emotionally may not be ready to learn or contribute to their community. These efforts are in direct support of the district's continued commitment to whole child education, a shorthand for the combination of academic, social, emotional, and physical education, including new methods to assess our successes and learn about areas for growth beyond standardized testing. But now, I hope to liven things up a bit by switching gears from assessments to baked goods to illustrate something fundamental about our schools and the work of 2016 and beyond. I was at Lindell's Bakery last week, and the woman next to me made a comment about a young boy and girl pressed against the glass case filled with donuts. They were siblings, and she was impressed to see them happily together, if not slowly asking for their order. Her name was Barbara, and she was a retired Somerville Public Schools physical education teacher. She then told me about bumping into one of her former students, and although she didn't remember the name of the boy, who she guessed was about 60 now, she did remind him of a collision they had in the gym and pulled up the leg of her pants to show him and me, in the story, the resulting surgical scar on her kneecap. After over 40 years, she still remembers her students, and they remember her. Wow. That's huge. Our educators know our kids, even 40 years later. Our educators put the needs of our kids first. Our educators watch for our children in the community, even after they retire, looking at our future generation with kind hearts and commentary. Attracting and growing, keeping great staff is a top priority at Somerville Public Schools, and Superintendent Skipper has enhanced our efforts. To put it simply, the goal is to make Somerville Public Schools the top choice for quality educators in order to retain and attract the best talent. I use the term educator intentionally, just as Superintendent Skipper does, to include not only teachers, but administrators, paraprofessionals, lunch aides, everyone who works in our schools. They all play a role in educating our children. I believe this will be one of the most powerful ways we improve opportunities for the children of Somerville. There are so many more exciting things I could share, but to keep things brief, I would like to expand on the idea of educators, reflecting on my own experience and reaching out to you, members of the Somerville community. Think about the ways you may have a positive impact on our schools. Consider where your interests intersect with your skills. That sweet spot of volunteering, from tutoring students to asking challenging questions of your elected officials and city and school administration. Educating on what our community wants and needs. Thanks to those who are already in the mix, our PTAs, volunteers, and tutors. Great thanks to Superintendent Skipper for her high energy leadership and clear vision. And my personal thanks to those who allow me to do the work I do, my family, my friends, and dedicated colleagues on the school committee. Be an educator, be involved, have an impact, but I warn you, it may be addictive, and the next thing you know, one of you may be standing on this podium or sitting in the horseshoe as one of the next stewards of our city and our schools. Thank you.